Good evening, my friends. God bless you. Today I wanted to discuss a very famous story from Bible, Book of Exodus, the parting of the Red Sea. You must have seen the movie 10 Commandments or Prince of Egypt, where the Red Sea is parted and Israelites cross the sea on a dry ground. However, the verse that caught my eye in that story, Exodus chapter 14, where Moses says to Israelite that stand still and you will see the salvation of the Lord. Stand still. Now, if you really think that, do they have any option? Well, I don't know whether they will be able to see what is in front of them, because the pillar of cloud was leading them. So I don't think that they would be able to see what is in front of them. But definitely they knew what is behind them. And what was behind them were the chariots and army of Pharaoh chasing them. So do they have an option apart from staying stand still? Well, if you read that story, they had an option, and they did discuss the option that let us go back to Egypt, let us surrender to Egyptians, let it be remain their slave for rest of our life. So they were thinking about taking matter on their own hands rather than going to promised land. They have decided that the option they had was to remain slaves to Egyptians and serve Pharaoh. In our life, we come to a situation where we clearly quite not sure which way to go. We know the fear behind us, and sometimes we submit to our fears and we make some decisions knowing that at the end of the day, it is not going to be beneficial for us. But we don't have options. And Israelites were in the same situation, and Moses says that stand still. So, and then God says that, okay, move forward. So whether you stand still or you move forward. When God told Moses, why are you crying to me? Tell people to move forward. Now, if people were not sure in this situation what we should be doing, they were discussing options. Moses is telling them to stand still, and then Moses comes back again and said that, okay, let's move forward. And I believe that some people must have doubt on leadership of Moses, that one time you are saying stand still, do nothing, and another time you say move forward. I think that is a great lesson for us, that what it means to be stand still. Stand still, I believe, is not take matter in our own hands. Stand still means don't rely on our own understanding. Stand still means don't try to solve the issues or finding a solution with your own might or strength or wisdom or opinion. But look for the leads, where Moses says that, okay, move forward. And people did move forward. Things got better? No. If you read the scriptures, the pillar of cloud that was in front of them goes behind them. Now, I believe they are able to see the sea. They got to have become more frightened that, oh my God, where we will go forward? There was a pillar of cloud, we did not see the water, but now we are seeing how we can move forward. And in our life, we come to a situation where we trust God, we think that we are following, we will take courageous steps, and things get worse. And then for Israelite, on that particular night, it says that a mighty east wind started blowing. And if you have heard the hurricane strength wind, you can imagine how frightened people would be. It is night. They see the sea. And now they don't know what the solution is, but they can hear the terrible sound of wind blowing. And whole night, the Egyptians were not having a peaceful night. They were trying to come close to Israel and kill them. But the pillar of cloud was holding them back, and they could not come closer to Israelite. So Egyptians were trying everything in their power to cross over this pillar of cloud and then come to Israel and kill them. So the situation for Israelites was really, really scary. They can hear the sound of the army. They can hear the crashing waves of the sea. They can hear the heroic sound of the wind blowing. And in that middle of that chaos, they have to remain stand still. They must have doubt, they must have fear, but they stayed there. They did not take matter in their own hands. Whatever Moses told them, they did. And then they cross over in one night. Scripture says that in one night. And while they were crossing over, God removed the pillar of cloud. And now Egyptians started chasing them. So we come to a situation in our life where we think that we are finally finding a solution. We are finally finding a rescue. And suddenly we realize that the army that was held back for a while is now on pursuit again. There is no barrier now between Israelites and Egyptians, and the Egyptian army is chasing them. So their hopes must have been like they must have been on a roller coaster. They were frightened, and they can see that, okay, the pillar of cloud is holding the Egyptians, but now they are chasing again. And you and me find in our lives so many times the same situation where we think that God has rescued us. We have not quietly crossed over yet. And again we see the enemy armies is chasing us. But we know the story. By daybreak, the Egyptian army drowned in the same sea. And Israelites see a magnificent miracle. We don't understand, my friend, that particular night or the impact, but just by watching movie. Think about that. There were about 2.5 to 3 million people. To crossing over 3 million people, 2.5 to 3 million people, the sea must have been open so wide, not just a little bit. I don't believe that Israelites cross over in 2x2s or 5 people in a row of 5 people. I don't believe so. It would be massive opening. It must have been massive opening in the sea so that the 2.5 million people can cross over within one night. Are you in a same situation where you are not sure? Now you are seeing there is a sea in front of you. There is Egyptian armies behind you. There is a wind blowing and you are terrified. God says in that moment, stand still. Can you stand still with your doubt? Can you stand still without not knowing what will happen? Can you stand still not knowing that God will open the sea? Can you stand still that what would be the outcome? Can you stand still for the next step? Or can you stand still until God showed you the next step? And I believe that if you stand still, you will see that your enemy will be drowned. You will never see them again. And you will see a mighty hand of God in your life. May God bless you. Thank you.